Hey guys, welcome back to our next episode. We've got another special guest again, but once again from me,
Kevin.
and today we've got quite a special one. It's quite a different one. So we've got Sophie in today. Hello, Sophie.
Hello, Michael.
First female guest.
So today Sophie's going to be talking about female coaches in grassroots football, which you don't really see come across that often, especially me and Kevin being as coaches. You don't really come across as a female coach in grassroots football. So, Sophie, do you want to tell us a little bit what it's like, the life of coaching in grassroots?
It's a little bit different being a female, because when you do go to matches, they take one look at you and think, "Oh, you're our actual coach." So yeah, it's a little bit different. But being a football coach, working in sports and that, it is, it's different than a male, because football kids always look at a male coach and say, yeah, they're football coaches. Whereas when a woman comes along and coaches you, then obviously they think, oh, they don't know how to coach. So yeah.
Yeah, so it must be hard coming across there. But do you personally do anything different on when turning up or coaching within sports or in football, grassroots football? Do you do anything different maybe towards the kids?
I've probably got that mothering instinct. If they're a bit injured, I get over there a little bit quicker than probably the male coaches. And I think that's probably the only thing different. I still shout on the sideline and tell them what they need to do. So yeah, I've still got the mothering instinct, but at the same time, I'm just a football coach.
Do you feel like, because when I coach, sometimes I'll say something, but I also want to demonstrate what I'm doing, and then sometimes do you feel, as a woman, do you also have to be like really good at demonstrating? Because there are some male coaches who say stuff, but then they can't actually do it.
Yes.
And then as a woman, do you feel like if you can't actually do it as well, it looks even worse just because you're a woman?
Yes. So I always make sure if I'm going to demo something, I've always practiced it beforehand if I'm not so sure on it, or I actually know what I'm doing and make sure I demo it correctly. Or my other one is I use the kids to demo, so then it makes it easier for the other kids to understand.
Oh yeah. That's true.
Yeah, no, it's good that you've got that there to understand that, because I know I've seen a few actually women coaches in football that have turned up and they've been quite different to what you've been, and they're not as understanding of the game as what you are. And I think that's why it's good to have people like you involved in the game, is because to get more people involved is because women need to understand the game more now. And I think even professional now, the women's game is coming on a little bit more, and I don't think there is enough women playing football, and I don't think there is enough women coaches in football either.
No, so in 10 years of coaching, I think I've seen a handful of women coaches. But in the last 5 seasons, obviously working with the football club, I've never come to a match with a woman coach. It's always been male coaches.
I was just about to ask you that.
Yeah.
Never.
In the last 5 seasons, no, never.
I think I've definitely had one this season, to be fair.
Oh, okay.
And they're the team that won the league.
No.
Wow.
Yeah. Which is good.
It just shows.
Yeah. And me and her were speaking in the last game, and we both had a little run-in with a team that we don't like, because their parents are quite abusive, etc., etc. And they said to her, well, she won that game 2-0, her team won 2-0, and then they weren't happy with some decisions from the referee or whatever. They said, oh, you don't know what you're doing, you're cheating. Because she's a woman, and actually went so far to say racist remarks about her as well. And then she said, yeah, they said all of that just because I'm a woman.
Yeah, I've experienced that from male coaches, that I don't know what I'm doing, I'm cheating, and I've been verbally abused by male coaches. So yeah, you do get that as a woman, but for me, I just take it on the shoulder, and you know, as long as I'm professional in front of the kids, then I don't really react to it.
Do you have a few female coaches as friends that are not in the club that you're working with?
I actually don't. Oh, I have two. They were from a previous club though, and that's it really. There's not many female coaches I actually know.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's quite strange.
So do you think that like maybe like on a Sunday, like when the other coach turns up, maybe he'll approach the game or approach you in a different way maybe than he would approach a male coach on a Sunday?
Yeah, what I have noticed is some coaches, me being as a female, they come and have a little chit chat with me. Whereas I've noticed when it comes to the two men coaches, when they're V'ing each other, they don't actually have a chit chat. They just say hello, what time the game's going to kick off, and then that's it. But some male coaches actually do come and have a chat with me, so which is nice. So, but then you do get the other coaches that they just take one look at you and think, oh, okay. And then when the game is finished and say I've won the game, then they just won't say goodbye and just walk off. So,
Wow.
yeah, so you do get the coaches that aren't very pleasant.
Yeah, I think you get that a lot. I don't have many talks with at the beginning, like you said.
Yeah.
Male, I was just like, yeah, you're right. If anything, I've never initiated conversation.
Oh, I've had quite a few conversations.
Yeah.
I think because I'm a woman, they just tend to like talk to me and that. So, which
Maybe-
it is nice.
Maybe they like you.
Maybe,
go,
you never
she's
know.
nice. I think the one time, like that female coach that I told you, she's in my league. She every time I've played her twice this season, she's always initiated conversation. Like we spoke for like 5 minutes, and I'm just like, at this one point I was just like, oh, I just want to stop. My boy's warming up. You're just talking. Just like, all right, but she's a nice woman, anyways.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I come across quite friendly, and I like to have a chat sometimes. But some coaches don't like it, so I don't always initiate the conversation. So. Yeah.
Oh, fair enough. Do you think if there was more female coaches, that more female players would be in the boys teams, for example?
Yeah, so they can only play up to a certain age anyway with the boys. But I think that more if they see more women coaches, then they would be playing. There'd be a lot more younger girls playing.
Yeah. Do you think there's any reason why there isn't many women coaches in football or in boys football really?
I think boys look at female coaches very differently to their man, because they think that football is a man's sport, so they initially think only men should be coaching. So when a woman turns up to coach, they think, well, she can't actually coach.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've had those remarks as well, that women can't coach.
Yeah, but then you get a surprise, like you said, like you've probably beaten a couple of coaches on the day, and then it maybe puts them a little bit back down to reality and puts them back into their place. That it's not just for the men, and the women do have an understanding, and you clearly do have an understanding of the game itself. So it gives them a little bit of a different point of view.
It does, yeah, no, it does, which I think is quite good. I think because I've played football previously, and then to go into coaching, I've probably got a bit more understanding of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, because even some male coaches, they haven't played before and just gone into coaching, so that it's probably a little bit more difficult for them to understand the game. But because I've come from a football background, to then go into coaching, I understand it a lot more.
Yeah.
So.
I was gonna say, do you think a lot of the female coaches are actually coaching female teams?
I do think so, yeah. I think they're a bit of it's a struggle sometimes for a woman to go into a boys' team to coach, and sometimes the boys don't actually like it. So, yeah, I think a lot of the women actually coach girls' teams.
Which you would prefer?
I would prefer it a little bit, but not at a younger age, more of an older age group.
So we're talking 15s and up?
Yeah, 15s and up.
What would be your ideal age group?
Under 15s.
Under 15s?
Yeah.
And then progress with them?
Yeah, progress to at least under 18s. I've done that previously, and it was a really good few seasons with them. So yeah, I prefer the older girls, but then when I take the boys, I prefer under 12s under, because they still learning and they haven't quite got that attitude.
Yeah.
And that, so, and they might not take authority very well off a woman, whereas if a guy does it, then they take the authority much better.
No, that's true. I think quite a few female teams that I've seen, for me, I've seen quite a few male coaches.
Yeah,
I haven't seen too many female coaches myself, but even the male coaches, they say they like the environment more.
Yeah, it's a lot more friendlier.
Yeah.
It is. It's a lot more relaxed as well. And because when you take the boys team, they become quite aggressive.
Yeah.
Whereas the girls team, they are aggressive, but not to a certain extent. And then if there's a tackle or something, they just get up and don't roll around the floor like most of the boys do.
Yeah.
And they just get on with it. They just play the football.
Yeah, because when I've seen it as well, I feel like girls, they just listen.
Yeah, listening is a big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the boys, it's just, you always have the odd few doing something else,
yeah.
looking the other way or something. But with girls, I just feel like just focused.
Oh, they are. All they want to do is learn and play. Whereas the boys, sometimes they would just want to have fun and actually not want to play and learn at the same time.
So is there any reason why do you think there isn't enough women coaches within not just the boys grassroots, but also the girls as well? Because like Kevin said, there's been plenty of situations where you've seen even the women's team, like at the top level, they have men's coaches. Is there any reason why do you think there isn't enough women coaching? What's the reason?
I don't think it's been given much opportunity for women. There isn't enough broadcast on it. It's more broadcasted for the men than it is women.
But I think that's true, because I know I've coached a few females as in one-to-one sessions, and I think they do watch more men's football, because obviously it is out there. Yeah, you watch TV advertised as men's football, then only if it's a special women's game, then it does.
It comes on TV.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not actually there.
Yeah, which is a shame, but I think somehow they do it a little year by year. It gets bigger and bigger.
It has, from when I was playing and when I first started coaching, it actually has got bigger, but I still think it should get much more bigger.
Okay. Do you think football teams should advertise more to female coaches?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They should. I think most grassroots football should have like a handful of women.
Yeah.
In their football clubs, just to make it easier.
I think maybe they should make it as a rule.
Yeah.
That they should have maybe a minimum of 2 or 3 women coaches.
Yeah.
To get the diversity in and to get the women coaches in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that should
I
be the
definitely
rule.
agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think in our club we have 30 plus coaches.
Yeah, 30 plus coaches.
Yeah.
And there's only 2.
Is that? Oh, okay.
Including myself.
Yeah, including yourself. So, and sometimes, because I think there was a stage last year, I think we had an extra 2. We had, I think it was Stella.
Yeah.
And somebody else.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. But then within a month or 2, they were just gone.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, oh, it's a bit nice just having,
a little bit of female chat here.
Yeah, because it looked a bit better. There was guys and then there was women. It felt like, like a normal working environment, wherever you go, there's men and women.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? But now, like, when I go in, now it's just, especially on the Saturdays, where most of us are in, it's just like all the guys, and then it's just like, hi Sophie.
No, it's true. Like sometimes I do feel like I'm a bit out of the depth, like with all you guys and then just myself. Especially if we do like a evening or something, it is a bit strange. But I suppose sport is sometimes initiated like that, especially grassroots football.
Yeah, how do you feel that on Saturdays when it's just all the guys and then it's just hi Sophie?
I think I've got used to it over the years.
Yeah.
At first I was a bit weary of it, but now I've just got used to it, and obviously I can have great banter with you guys. So yeah, it's fine. I don't mind it now.
That's good. Do you, regarding coaching, do you want to keep on progressing?
Yes, I want to go do the next coaching level, which is UEFA B. And again, there's only 500 people females that have actually got that certificate.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so that's my next stage.
Mm.
But obviously I need a 11-a-side team, so I want to progress and get 11-a-side team to do the UEFA B.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really interesting.
Yeah, there isn't many females that have that coaching level.
And is that 500?
I think that's in
including-
England.
In England?
Yeah, I think so.
Is that including the ones that are probably currently coaching at
Higher
high level?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't like, obviously for men you probably don't get it, but for the female they actually pay half of it towards it because there isn't that many.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
And again, like the coaching.
That is such a saving.
Yeah.
I think that's it's a good thing in a way because it gives the incentive for the women to go and do the UEFA
Yeah.
B and progress onto it, and rather than just staying at the level 2 and staying on basic and maybe after a couple of years losing interest in the sport. I think that gives you the maybe if money or finances are not a little bit there for anybody.
Yeah.
I think that little bit of half price and that gives you that little push to go and do that next
I
level.
think so that's my next thing that I want to do. Even if I have to pay full for it, which I don't mind, but I'll go and do it. So I just need a little bit more time and then go and do it.
Did the FA do that for level 1 and 2 for females as well, or was it just from UEFA B?
Where I was working, they actually paid for my level 1 and 2. So I've actually never paid for a course.
Oh, okay.
So but I'm not too sure about the level 1 and 2 if they do.
No, I never knew that. That's quite good news from my side of things because I never knew they did that for women's football.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
I feel like they should do that for maybe not men, but they
should help a little bit because the courses are expensive.
Yeah.
So, but you can tell that there is a difference between women coaches and male coaches on that aspect.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think it's because not just talking football and grassroots football as well, but I think if you look at any other sport within England, there's lots of women coaches. But when it comes down to the football, the grassroots, there's none there.
There's hardly any,
And it's a tough one to distinguish. Why? Because I think it's like any sport. When you get to, for instance, if you use tennis for the example, a 15, 6-year-old is still going to have that attitude, like you said, like maybe before. Like it's going to get there. They're going to get to the stage of where you're a women coach. You're a woman coach. Am I going to look at you the same way as what I'm going to look at her as a man coach?
Yeah.
And I think it's a little bit easier for other sports because a lot of it's mainly individual or a little bit more less. I think when it comes down to football, it's more win.
Yeah.
And I think that's why the kids have got the passion to go out there and win. And the pressure's on them. But I think in the other sports, it's more, yes, we want to win, but more progression as well and the learning as well. But I think within football, I think the kids feed off of the men's game as well.
Oh, yeah.
Because watching the men's game and they're shouting at each other and they look at that and they're like, okay, maybe I should do that now as well. And I think I think that's why it's harder for the women to get involved in grassroots because they can see what's happening in the past and going in the future with the men's game, and it just gets so much more.
And like, to be honest, there isn't many mothers that bring their kids to football. It's mainly the dads on a Sunday, so you have to be prepared to deal with the dads shouting from the sideline at the kids or yourself if you've made that decision that they don't like. And if you can deal with that, then you'll be fine as a football coach.
Have you ever had a problem with a male dad that's come across?
I have. They've told me that the decision I've made was wrong and why they question it all the time. But the current team I have, they've been really good. The dad's been very supportive. So I think if you get the supportive fathers, then you'll just fly through the season.
So do you think maybe they questioned you because you were a female coach and they wouldn't have questioned if it was a male coach if it was
they questioned because I'm a female coach, not because I was a male. It was just purely because I'm a female, they've decided to question it. Because they think they know better because they're a male and their football is a male sport.
Do you, sometimes I see boys teams and then if a female coach has 1 or 2 girls in that team, it's like they're special players. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like these are the girls and with the boys, but female coaches really love having a female player in their boys teams.
Yeah.
Have you had that experience yet?
No, I haven't. So I haven't had the mixed team. So it's either been the boys team or the girls team that I've coached.
If you had a female player, do you think you don't treat them extra special, but you feel like, I don't know, it's kind of your responsibility in a sense?
Yeah,
like,
I think you don't treat them differently, but how they learn is different to a boy. So you have to teach them in a different way than a boy. But I wouldn't make it any special treatment for them because they're the girl in the team. They'd get the same treatment. But what I have noticed is when we go and play teams and they've got girls in the team, the boys actually act very differently and they won't tackle the girl.
Yeah.
And they won't do it. Yeah.
They won't go as physical.
Yeah, which is quite strange actually.
Yeah, because I had that this season, I think maybe a couple months back.
Yeah.
One of the teams we're actually going to play in 2 weeks' time. They've got a girl who plays, she's either left back or right back, I can't remember now. And one of my players, who's quite physical, he's not the strongest, but he goes in 100%. And then I saw him kind of like not really go in. I'm just like, what are you doing? I was thinking, what are you doing? And I'm thinking, what's wrong with him? Like, because she's a girl.
Yeah.
And I'm telling him, you've got to go in 100%, it's yours to win. Then when you give him that little shout just to boost them, just to win that ball, and he started winning the ball. Because he could easily have won it, because with a 50-50, I could tell she wasn't physical. She was just a decent height and size for her age. But you being the boy at that age, from looking at both of you, you're stronger than her. So I'm thinking you should be winning that ball every time.
They literally get scared. And I say to the boys, like, she's probably better than you, and she'll probably take the ball off you, so you need to go in there 100% and tackle them like you would any other person.
Yeah.
And then once you give them, as you said, once you give them that little chat, then they're fine.
Yeah, because we never say that, because she's a girl, that you're better than them. But we're saying she could be better, but physically, I expect you to win the challenge. And that's the only issue it is. I think it's just all that banter as well. Like if, I don't know, if the girl nutmegged the kid, then all the guys get on his back, oh, she nutmegged you, blah, blah, blah.
It's hard because I think the girls, I've seen more over the last year or two, like girls playing football at younger age group. But like you said, they've got to stop at under 12s. So what's the next thing for them to go and do? And I think that's why there isn't enough, you don't see enough girls teams, because I think the girls teams that you have from like the older age groups start off from younger and they're together and they build each other like a boys team would, from under 7s and upwards. I don't think there's very rarely where you can form a team from something where it's gone. Like you said, after under 12s, a lot of girls probably would stop playing football because they enjoyed playing it with the boys, they were having fun, but then it's the change of going then to go and play with the girls or going to a different team. And I think that's what just needs to be pushed a little bit more, is that how can you progress from that team that you've got wherever you were playing to somewhere else.
It is difficult for them, and I don't think there's enough female clubs around. Like in our borough, I only know one. So whereas the boys teams, there's absolutely loads. So I don't think there's that many female teams, and I think that should be promoted more. So.
What was I going to say? I don't know what it is. Mind blown. I was going to say something about the female teams.
Yeah, no, I think the rule should be compulsory now.
Yeah,
and I think
it's about time.
Going forward, that's what it should be. Is that you should have a minimum of maybe like 2 or 3 women coaches in the team. So if you have got one, it's not right, because then that one is a little bit different to you. You've got used to it after a while. But if that one is a little bit timid, doesn't want to go into the team as a woman around men, around, if you've got 30 coaches, 29 of them being men and the one coach being a woman, any woman going into a man environment is going to be a little bit like, whoa. So I think if you have maybe 2 or 3, if you get one of them that's in there, or 2 of them that's talking to each other, I think that will attract more in, because then you've got at least 3 of them that are in there communicating with each other. And it's the same for the girls team as well. I think you should have a team that should be for a girls.
They should, yeah, and that's what there isn't. There isn't enough of.
Yeah,
So-
there's no promotion of it either.
No,
There's
not at all.
I think anywhere you go, I think unless they've got a team there, then they'll promote the girls'
Yeah.
football. Other than that, it's
They
just
don't promote
it's
it
just
at
it's
all.
just yeah, we need under 12 boys, this team and this team. There's not enough. Yeah, we're gonna start up a girls' team. Like we want girls to come down. I don't think there is enough promotion of it.
No, not at all.
I was
Which
gonna
is
say,
sad.
I was gonna say for at the grassroots level, so we say girls go up to under 12s,
Mhm.
but when they, let's say they go to under 13s with a new club, which will be a girls club,
Yeah.
do you think all of that work with the boys from under 7s and up has helped them to be much better with playing with boys than starting as an under 7 with girls?
Okay, so I think if they played for under 7s to under 12, 13s with boys, I think they go into a girls' team in the upper age group a lot stronger because they've been playing with the boys.
Yeah.
So they'll have the same knowledge of the sport, but I think they're physically they're a lot stronger because boys are naturally stronger in sports, especially grassroots football.
Okay, so do you think that may be why some girls go, or do you think, as you said before, because there isn't many girls teams around, so the easiest thing to do is find a boys team?
I think because there isn't many girls teams about, they have to find the boys team. And if they say they have a brother and the brother's playing in grassroots, it's just easier for parents to take them both to the same club.
Yeah, that's true. 100%. Agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's hard because you do get some girls out there that are really, really decent footballers. But how do you tell that they're good footballers? Because it's hard. Because if some girl footballers that are decent, them going to play with boys makes them not look as good.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it puts it down, is that because some girls are really good, but how unless you're wealthy, unless like the girls that are really, really good, they got straight into an academy straight from there, and you're in a girls team and you're performing really, really well in front of the girls. A lot of the girls that are decent will go into the boys team and will underperform, not because they're not good enough, but because of the boys that are at that level. And listen, the boys level and the girls level are completely different. Everybody knows that, but I think to push that girl to be better than what she was, to go and play then in the boys team, because like you said, there's no other option. It lowers the confidence and lowers the ability level as well. It does,
and I think the boys, they think as soon as she comes in, she's automatically going to be rubbish, so she just plays rubbish or doesn't play at all. So, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it a few times as well, where a girl's come into a team and the boys don't pass to the girl on purpose because she's a girl. Is she going to be good? Are they going to lose the ball? And I think it's about, because it's that winning mentality now, is that if I pass her the ball, is she going to be able to pass the ball on to somebody else? And can we progress from that? And if I pass the ball, is she going to lose it? And if I do, then it's hard, because they shout at them. How do they respond to them losing the ball?
And they haven't got the mentality to figure out what to do.
Yeah.
When you obviously have a girl in your team, so yeah, I think they're scared at the same time. They don't want to pass to her at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a difficult one.
It's a difficult one.
It is. It's hard because, like I said, there's not enough women coaches in football as well, and it starts off from the low. It starts from girls playing football as well.
Yeah.
And because you don't have enough girls playing football, how can you expect there to be enough women coaches out there as well? And if you did have more girls teams, then it could progress into, if they get from under 7s to the under 18s with the girls team, if they stop playing football after there, but at least then they've got together, them 18 girls could then maybe coach a boys team or even the girls team a lower down once they get to the under 18s level.
Yeah.
But like I said, the only girls that you've got playing football at the moment is like, if they've got a girls team, if not, there's a couple of girls scattered around that are in boys teams at the moment.
Yeah.
I think what I know is some girls teams, due to the numbers, you could have a girl that's 10 that's playing under 12s.
Yeah.
A girl that's under 9s should be playing under 9s, playing under 10s. Because
yeah.
there isn't that many numbers to have age.
I have experienced that. So there's been a lot of the younger age groups where they play up a year just to fulfill that team because you haven't got enough.
Do you think then, as female football should have maybe under 10/11s.
Yeah, they should mix it automatically.
Just so it's so
it's
they can
easier.
field more teams
Yeah.
and then more girls would come because at least then you can have a team there instead of if you do under 10/11s you can have a team, but then if it was just under 11s, some would think, oh, I don't want to play a year up. I'm just going to go join the boys team that's under 10s.
10s, yeah.
So I think that way it could be an avenue for getting more girls into.
I think it could be, yeah, big avenue,
but then you look at the side where, let's say we did that, and only 2 of the players were under 10s, the rest were under 11s. You play against a team where 8 of them, 9 of them are under 10s, and 3 under 11s. Then it comes to that issue.
Yeah, it does come down to that issue. So it's neither here nor neither there, really.
Yeah, I think you got to look at the ups and downs of it.
Yeah, that's the only way to do it.
Yeah, but I think in the long run, you look at it and think, well, if more girls are playing football that way, then it works.
Yeah, it works, yeah.
Yeah, and I think eventually, then with the numbers building up, then you could say, okay, we could scrap this format now and go back to
yeah.
the 10s, 9s, 11s, 12s, etc., etc.
Yeah, it is a very good idea, but I just don't think the FA would look at it like that. So, yeah.
Do you think there's any different approach on a Sunday coaching a girls' team compared to what it would be to a boys' team? Is there anything a coach would do differently, or is there any thing that teams would do differently, like on a Sunday compared to because you've coached boys' teams that you've got now, and you've also coached girls' teams. Is there any different approach from you as a coach on the day?
I'm probably with boys you have to be more authoritative, whereas the girls' team you're a bit more relaxed. So they know you give them the team talk, and they know what they have to do in the match. Whereas the boys you have to literally guide them through the whole match. Whereas the girls take it upon themselves to do what you've already asked them to do, and you don't have to shout so much from the sideline.
I think sometimes it's not a bad thing though, because it keeps you on your toes
as
well.
Yeah.
And I think, like you said, you're more relaxed with the girls, and sometimes it's better to do the boys because, like, you've got to be on your toes, you've got to be ready. Something could go wrong in the game. He could make a mistake. One of the boys could make a mistake, and it's then your job to go in.
Yeah. So I do, as much as I would prefer to coach the girls team, the under-15s upwards. Sometimes I actually like to be quite authoritative on a Sunday morning, and it gets your vocals going, and the boys see it as a good thing, because at the same time you're not just letting them get on with it, you're actually helping them, and then the next week you see them improve. So yeah, it does make a difference being on your toes with the boys team.
I didn't know about that with the girls, that you can be a bit more mellow. I like being authoritative, but I think I would much rather have the calmness of I've given that instructions and they are doing what I said, doing the game plan. And I could talk time to time, you know, but with boys it's like every it's like chess pieces. Everything you're saying, they've got to do it because you've told them what to do. But you get like 3-4 of the boys that when you're talking, they're just like,
it's like they've heard it all before.
Yeah, I'm waiting to get back out there. Like I'm gonna do my thing. But then when he goes out there, it's just like, you're not even doing what I've said.
Yeah.
Some of them do, of course, but then I always feel like I've got to talk.
Yeah, I have noticed that with the boys team compared to the girls team.
Yeah, I would like to be in that situation where I say what should happen, 9 out of 10 they do it, and then I just need to pick little things to say. I would prefer that, and I think that's how it should be anyway. That's why we've got the game plan. That's why you've got the halftime team talk and so forth. Yeah. So that's how it should be.
I do. Yeah, it is. I did on a Sunday. Used to enjoy. Don't get me wrong. I still enjoy a football match on a Sunday, but it was a bit more joyful because I didn't have to scream and shout so much at the boys.
That's what Michael likes. He likes a good shout.
Get out. Monday to Saturday, I'm not doing it again. Sunday's my day of the week to get it all out.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, parents, coaches, players. That's all.
Just give it all to them.
Oh gosh.
Call it a wrap.
Yeah, I think I've got no other questions to ask Sophie.
Thank you very much, Kevin.
It's actually been really good, really
interesting. It has been a pleasure, it has been a pleasure.
I found out a lot of stuff I didn't know, to be fair.
You did, yeah.
Always learning with each podcast, to be fair.
Definitely.
Well, thank you for inviting me down.
No worries. Anytime. That's all for today, ladies, gentlemen, kids, and whoever you are. And we will be back next time. maybe just me and Michael this time. We've had quite a few guests on. Sometimes we need to have our own little chatter. So once again, thanks, Sophie.
Thank you very much.
Follow us on our social medias. It's all there on the TV. And we shall see you next time. Boom.